Hi everybody, welcome to class with me and Marilee. We are here tonight and there are a few things I want to talk about first actually. The first thing is, please get yourself some blocks. Get yourself some cork blocks. They're on Amazon, they are everywhere. Get yourself a pair of those. I don't recommend the foam blocks because they have a tendency to flip and sometimes we stand on the block to do some fun things as well. But the foam ones are kind of light and they flip regardless of whether you're standing on them or using them in a pose. So that was one thing that I wanted to talk about. Marilee will take the blocks when she needs them. I'm not gonna force her to take them in poses that sometimes I would be showing a beginner's class. She's gonna take them as she needs to take them, and you take them as you need to take them for yourself. Yeah, so let's get started. Thanks so much for being here. If you like this workout, if you like this video, please take a couple of seconds and hit the like button. That would be amazing. I'm kind of new to asking for people to do this, so I'm keeping it real by saying it feels weird to say that, but that's kind of what YouTube is all about. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, don't give me a thumbs down. Just send me a message and tell me why. And if you have any requests or any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it if you just reach out to me. That would be awesome. Okay, so we're gonna feel our way through class tonight. And I think a nice thing to do to get started, Marilee, is come on into your down dog. Let's come on into down dog tonight, which isn't always an easy pose to start in. So that's why I'm going to ask you to do it, because why start easy? All right, so go ahead and check out your hands. Really important that you spread your fingers far apart from each other and get your palms into the floor so that you can feel, right? I don't want you cupping your hands because that puts a lot of pressure on the wrist. So let us take a moment to really feel the knuckles in the floor and then look up and bring your middle fingers and your shoulders in a nice straight line with each other. So the thumbs will turn in a little bit towards each other. Hand position is everything, believe it or not. Then we're gonna think about opening your armpits to the floor, right? So if you're kind of jacked forward like this, we're just gonna think about opening up your armpits to your mat and creating a little bit of length right there. And then I want you to take your elbows, and if they're out to the side, I want you to turn them in. Yeah, so that you can engage through your triceps and not let your shoulders do all the work. And then we're gonna drop your head and look at your feet. Check out your feet, they're hip width distance apart. And Marilee has her legs as straight as they feel good right now, so you're not forcing straight legs. If you're really tight in your hamstrings, bend your knees. You can bend them a whole lot if you need to. You're gonna straighten them right now just to where it feels comfortable to stay here, because we're here for a few breaths. And then relax a little bit through your neck. So say a slow motion no. Let your head turn easy, side to side, just nice and easy. And then bring it back center neutral. We're looking through your feet. And we're gonna exaggerate a little bit through your sit bones. Those are your butt bones. So we're gonna extend your seat up towards the ceiling. Just a little exaggeration so that we can create a little length through your low back. Very nice. And then we'll come down into child's pose. So that's enough to just open up and feel something in that downward facing dog. We'll separate the knees, let your head drop into the floor, and then you'll reach your arms out just a little bit, or if you prefer, you can drape your elbows around your knees and let your shoulders fall forward that way. Or you can keep your arms out to the side. So right now we're in child's pose. That feels good for you. What I want you to feel is opening up through the psoas. So you're just gonna separate the knees, relax through the top of your toes so your feet are nice and relaxed. And we're gonna stay here and we're just gonna breathe. We're gonna talk about breath for a few moments while we're here. So if you could close your mouth, close your eyes, and all I want you to do is start to take deeper breaths, both with your inhales and your exhales. So with your mouth closed, the air is traveling through your nose. I want you to try to feel it in the back of your throat a little bit. So it's audible sound where you're starting to build a little bit of heat. And we're also going to build a little bit of presence in that. So now is a real nice opportunity to set an intention for what you would like to get out of your practice tonight. So just think about, maybe you want to get a little calmer. Maybe you want to get a little sleepy. Maybe you want to get real sweaty and work real hard, and that's going to give you the gift of finding better sleep. Marilee actually has expressed that she sleeps better after she does a strong practice with my style of yoga. So that's a bonus. That's a beautiful thing, especially if sleep is not on your side. Okay, so now we're going to press up onto the hands and knees, and we'll bring the knees right under the hips, and we'll bring the wrists right under the shoulders. And then we have the fingertips, they're facing forward, and we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet. So I want you to just come up onto your toes here, and we're going to press your chest away from the floor. So again, you want to be real active in the floor with your palms and your knuckles, feeling it. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to walk our hands in all different directions, moving through the shoulders. So find what is working for you. I like to sometimes feel like I'm spreading the floor apart, so I'll kind of press it and open it. I turn my fingertips backwards and press there. So we're just fine, and this is really nice for the little muscles in the hands. It's also really nice for your wrists. And I will say though, if you don't do stretching in your wrists and you do a lot of computer work, or you do a lot of stuff where your wrists aren't being stretched out, you will feel it, and it won't feel amazing. For me right now, it feels amazing, but just know that the more you do it, the better you'll feel. So we'll come back center, and then we're gonna reverse that stretch. So just flip your left hand or your right hand over a little bit on a slight angle. So it's coming back, and that's reversing the stretch. So you're not gonna put all your body weight on it. You're just gonna put enough to where it feels good. And then it's just a few seconds. We'll press down, let it feel good. And we'll do that one more time each side. So go ahead and flip it, find a little weight in there, and then we'll flip it again. Nice. And then we're gonna come down onto the elbows, and we'll open and close the hands, and we're gonna move through a nice circular motion just to release that, open it up. And then we'll drop the palms down, and we're gonna step back onto the balls of your feet. So go ahead and take a little step back here. We're gonna bring your feet as wide as your hips, nice, Mare. And we're gonna tuck up through your pelvis, and we're just gonna drive a little energy down through the floor. So go ahead and push the floor away from you. Keep pushing nice and strong. I want you to squeeze your thighs right now. I want you to squeeze your glutes right now. So really think about activating, turning on, squeeze in, right? We're engaged through the front of the thighs. We're squeezing the glutes. Belly button's coming up a little bit towards your face. Now, if this feels like it's easy, if you do planks and it's kind of easy, I want you to walk your feet back 2 or 3 inches and get a little bit of an angle from your shoulders to your elbows. Yeah, and see if then you can re-tuck the pelvis, but don't lift your hips up in the air. So make sure you're not lifting your butt up. You want to find that tuck. So does that feel like it's more of a challenge, Mary?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now think about looking for a little shake. We're looking for a little quiver. We're just doing some work. Now all we're gonna do is lift your right foot up, just a tiny bit off the floor. Right foot lifts. We're gonna hold it here. Point your right toes back and then circle through that right ankle. Go ahead and take it around. Now, if you need to modify, you can always drop that left knee to the floor. Yep. And if you feel stronger, keep it lifted. We'll drop the right foot. We'll lift the left foot. Point the toes, circle through that ankle. Take it around, both directions. We're squeezing extra strong through that right quad. And then we'll drop that left foot. And we'll walk your feet up enough so that your shoulders come right on top of your elbows. And then we're gonna lower the knees, and then we're gonna lower the belly down, and then we're gonna slide the palms alongside of the rib cage. We're just gonna find cobras here. So let's stay here with your palms as far back as you can slide them. I want you to pull your shoulder blades in towards each other, engage through your glutes and your thighs again. We're gonna keep the top of the feet relaxed. We're gonna find a little mini cobra. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna lift up a little bit right here. Marilee's neck is long, her chin is neutral, so I don't want you looking all around. And if you're not sure what you're doing, then hit pause, rewind, watch it first, and then come into it. Now I want you to lower down. Nice. If the palms slide back a little more, do that, then squeeze the glutes, find a little mini cobra, peel it up, shoulders come away from the ears, just elbows stay bent a lot, glutes are squeezing, and we'll lower that down. And if it's available, you're gonna slide your palms back even more, and then we're gonna press yourself away from the floor, and we're in a modified up dog. So shoulders, elbows, and wrists are in line with each other. And then we're just gonna bring your right shoulder forward and let your chin turn to the left. So we're keeping the glutes nice and strong. That's protecting your back. And then we'll switch sides. Left shoulder comes forward. And then we'll take that a little bit side to side just to feel good. So Marily's gonna keep moving. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can be here and you could be moving the shoulders this way. So if it doesn't feel good on your back, then find this modification. And then from your knees to your toes, come on into your downward facing dog. So right where we started, downward facing dog. We're driving the sit bones up, we're letting the head relax, we're opening the armpits to the floor, and we're just gonna bend one knee at a time, keeping the balls of the feet in contact with the floor. So this is just a nice way to move through the hips a little bit, to open up a little bit through the hamstrings, and then go ahead and straighten the legs. And then we'll stretch your right leg up to the sky. So right leg's gonna get nice and high. We're gonna flex the toes in, we're gonna bend that right knee, and we're gonna open through that right hip. So we'll take the heel and press it to the left side wall. And we're lengthening through that quad. Beautiful, Marily. And then we'll drop that right foot down. Left guy's gonna lift, we'll bend the knee, flex the foot. Let's open it up. So find the press here, we're tucking in. She's lengthening through that left quad. She's got the hamstring on. Active feet is very important. And then we'll drop that foot down. Beautiful. Very nice. And then we'll stretch the right leg back up to the sky. And let's walk your hands back to your toes. So if you are really tight in your hamstrings, you can have a set of blocks at the front of your mat and a set right about where Marily's hands are at the back of your mat on the outside. So if you needed your blocks, you could come up onto your blocks with your fingertips. Because what I want you to do is I want you to lengthen that left leg as much as you can. So now with the right leg lifted, point your right toes. So we're gonna find a little extension through that foot. And then we're just gonna walk the whole upper body, the torso, the fingertips over to your left. So if you had your blocks, you can walk them with you. Maybe you just have one block that you can use as well. You don't need two. And you can extend that block out there and keep your fingertips on it. That's really nice too. So let your head relax. Let your chest drop down. You're looking at your toes. So where the eyes go, the body follows. And then we're gonna walk the upper body to your right. And that's gonna have your right leg swing over to the left. And you're just gonna let that guy fold forward. And this back leg is staying active. So gravity wants to pull it down, you're in charge. You pick it up, keep lifting it up, work the energy in it. And then walk yourself back center so you're square with your foot. And we're gonna bring your right foot, your right leg behind your left, and your right foot outside of your left foot. So you'll shift your weight and get nice and even here. And we're just gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. So let's come up real slow, real slow. Yeah, we'll shrug the shoulders. And then we'll reach the arms up to the sky. And we'll let your right hand grab your left wrist. And then just lift up that left arm, lift out of that left shoulder, breathe in. As you exhale, come on over to the right side. Reach it. And then come back center. Switch the grip, pull up out of that right shoulder, breathe in as you exhale. Let's take it over to the left side. And we'll come back center. Then we're gonna interlace the fingers behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together. And then find a nice big inhale. As you exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, we're coming down. Nice and slow. For 4, let's do it together. For 3, for 2, let the top of your head drop into the floor. And you're just reaching your arms to where it feels good. Now, if you're really tight, maybe you have a little towel with you that you're working on or a little washcloth that you're holding on to. Maybe your fingers or your thumbs don't wanna touch each other, so go ahead and work that. And then say an easy no. We'll turn the head side to side. And then release your arms down and interlace your fingers behind your right calf. Interlace them together, and then just look out in front of you. Create a little length through your back. Breathe in. As you exhale, hug yourself in. Find a strong hug. Bend the elbows, push back through the seat. Now, every time you exhale, I want you to keep folding in. So don't lift anymore, just keep hugging. Yeah, just keep hugging on it. Use those biceps, use the arm strength, keep hugging on it. 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 hands find the floor. Your right leg is gonna extend back behind you. Walk along dog with a high left leg. Right foot lunges through your hands. We're gonna slide that left foot back. So now we're in a runner's lunge, and I want you to find the stance that feels good for you. So, make it nice and wide so that you can turn that left hip down. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. You do not want your left foot behind your right ankle. So you wanna have hip width distance or a little wider space so that you can get a nice stretch in there. Now make sure that your right knee is not, the body weight's not coming forward. So I want you to feel it through that, that right seat, dropping down through the seat. Just the upper body. We're gonna walk the hands to the left. So the feet never turn, the feet never move. All the toes stay forward, and we're just gonna push into the floor. And then we're gonna walk back center, and we're gonna come up into your crescent lunge. Arms come out to the side. We're gonna reach up, engage through that back glute, turn your little pinkies in a little bit towards each other, bend that left knee a little bit. Find a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the hands down, walk just the torso to your left, press down through the floor, find energy through your back heel, come back center. Let's find that crescent. Come on up. Arms reach out wide. Lift it up. Bend that left knee a little bit. Load up that back leg. Arms reach high. We're going to breathe in as you exhale. Drop the hands down. Walk it to the left. Press down through the floor. Energy through that back heel. Left wrist is going to come under the shoulder where it feels good. Right arm's going to open up to the sky. So find the reach. And then let that right arm reach overhead. Go ahead and extend it. Now drop your right seat down a little bit. Beautiful. So chin is where the neck feels good. Marilee's looking up, that feels good for her. My head is sideways, that feels good for me. Sometimes it feels better if I look down at my thumb. So find a place, make sure you're not straining in these poses, guys. Give yourself the gift of getting in it and just massaging into the feel good, right? So that means that if you need to, drop your back knee to the floor. So maybe this is a lot for you right now. Come on back center. So we're gonna walk the hands back center, but we're gonna stay inside of that foot, and we're gonna heel toe that right foot to get a wider stance right here. So now we're wider, and we're gonna come on the outer edge of your foot. So roll on the outer edge of your foot. We're just gonna breathe right here. Then take your upper body a little bit left, just slightly left. Bring your right hand inside of that knee, and then I want you to push that, stiff arm it away. So get that wrist to be able to push away from the knee so you can get inside that adductor. What I like to do is bend and straighten that leg, that front leg, bend and straighten it. And that feels really good for me for my hips. Now, if it doesn't feel good for you, you'll just hold that stretch. Nice, we'll come back center, heel toe that knee back under into your stance right here. And then nice and easy, bring your left knee to the floor, and then you'll slowly straighten your right leg. Let's square the hips. So let your left hand kind of manually shift that left hip forward, get it like a headlight. We're flexing back through the toes. Now here's a nice place where you might use your blocks. So maybe, if it feels better for you, so both Marilee and myself have tight hamstrings. Sometimes it feels better. So if you do have the blocks, I don't want you to cheat yourself out of getting a deeper stretch. If you have the blocks, start to push them away a little bit while we're here. So make it a challenge for you, right? Maybe they're a little bit further away. We're keeping the hips square. We're breathing into that right hamstring. Let's take your left hand, catch the ball of your right foot, give yourself a little pull, chin towards the toes. Let's just take a moment right here, close your eyes and enjoy it. And think back to what your intention was when we started class. And are you on course to stick with what your intention is? So maybe your intention was to not get so critical with yourself. Sometimes I like to set an intention of don't beat yourself up during this class. Like, you know, be kind to yourself. So if you find that you maybe haven't been on that path, see if you can get back there. So now we'll go ahead and bend that knee. We'll get on the ball of that back foot. We'll lift up that back knee, and we're gonna find our first high plank position. Take a step back. We're on the balls of the feet. We're turning the elbows in. We're tucking through the pelvis. Arms are strong and straight. We're squeezing through the quads. Chin is nice and neutral. Belly button's coming up a little bit. So I want you to really feel, take a moment to feel right here, all that work. Now, what I'd like you to do, and we're gonna be rounding through the back on this one. So take your right knee and bring it into your chest, and then try to touch your nose to your knee. Round up so much that you could touch it or almost touch it, and then step back into your high plank. Left knee comes in, round and tuck it up. Tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. Push yourself away from the floor and step it back. Land in the high plank. Right knee comes to the left elbow. Left elbow. So we're gonna cross it over. Yep. And we're gonna lift it up if it comes a little bit higher. Yeah, lift it up. Maybe you can get it just a little bit higher. And then we'll step it back. We're gonna hold that plank. Left knee's coming to the right elbow. Now maybe it gets higher. Yep, lift it a little bit higher. Very nice, a little bit. Now step it back, we're in that high plank. Right knee is gonna come up to the right tricep. Turn out and open through that inner thigh. Find the step back. Left knee's coming outside of the left tricep. That's fantastic. Take a step back. Hold your high plank. Listen up. If you need a break, you're in child's pose right now. If you don't, we're gonna do the whole round again. Right knee, nose to the knee. Round and tuck it up. 4, 3, tuck it, 2. Find the step back, we're in a high plank. Left knee comes in, nose to the knee. Round and tuck it, push yourself away. Find the step back. Reset the plank right here. Right knee to the left elbow. Take it higher, a little bit higher. Find it a little higher. Step it back. Set that plank. Left guy's coming to the right. Yeah, tuck it up, go mare, tuck it up, take it a little higher. Step back, reset your plank right here. Right knee to the right tricep. Drive it up, lift it high. 5, lift it a little higher. 4, 3, keep touching it. 2, step it back. Left knee, drive it up. Here we go. Take it high, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. We're in a high plank. If you need a break, you're in child's pose. If you don't, we're gonna run it through, but we're gonna slow it down. So if you don't need a break, we're gonna slow it down for tempo. So right foot's gonna lift just a little bit. Now we're gonna tuck it in on a 4 count. Tuck it in 4, round it up. 3, 2, try to touch it. It's a 4 count back for 4, 3. If you feel it in your wrist, Marilee's up on her knuckles right now. Step that foot down. Left foot lifts, take a pause, stay right here. And then let's tuck it up. 4, round it. 3, 2, take it tight, hold it. It's a 4 count back for 4, 3, 2, hold the plank, hold the plank. If you want to modify in a different way, come down on your forearms. You could do this in a forearm plank. Take that right knee, right foot lifts, right knee comes across to the left elbow. 4, 3, we're hip rotation. 2, try to touch it. Let's take it back for 4, awesome. 3, 2, this is a hard one. Drop that foot. Left foot lifts, hold it, take the pause. Breathe in on the exhale, turn it. 4, 3, rotate the hips. 2, try to take it up. Let's bring it back. 4, 3, 2, drop the foot. Hold the high plank. Stay right here. Hold the plank. Drive the chest away from the floor. Work it, Mare. Squeeze the quads. So bring it right here. We're gonna ring it out. Bring it. Right foot lifts, just a hold. Stay with me. Big breath in. As you exhale, 4 count, right knee's coming to the right tricep. 3, we're driving it up. 2, we're gonna try to touch it. It's a 4 count back for 4, 3, don't rock the shoulders. 2, drop the foot. Left foot lifts, stay here. Breathe in. As you exhale, drive it up. 4, 3, you should be getting warmer. 2, try to touch it. Let's bring it back for 4, 3, 2, we're in child's pose together. Ah, very nice. Nicely done, Mare. Beautiful. Child's pose, take the upper body to the left side. Walk it over, feel good. We're over to the left. Thread your right arm under your left. Drop into your right shoulder. Yeah, let your head drop. Reach your left arm to the sky. So reach it up. Now bring your left hand outside of your right hip or outside of your low right back. Yeah, and just roll back. Let's stay here for 5, 4, 3, for 2, and we're gonna lift up and bring that whole upper body in child's pose to the right side. Walk it over, thread your left arm under, drop into that left ear. Right arm gets high to the sky. Reach it back, catch the outside of your left hip or your low back. Roll up in through that right shoulder. Very nice. And then we're gonna come back center in downward facing dog. Let's get long here. Downward facing dog. The seat is high and the head drops low. And we're gonna stretch that left leg up to the sky. So left leg is up. We're gonna walk the hands back to your toes on the right. We'll straighten that right leg to the degree where it's gonna straighten, and we're gonna take the whole upper body to your right side, all the way over. So let that left leg just swing out, reach through the toes on this one, extension through the top of the foot, and we're walking the arms out long. So if you could go as far out as down dog if that feels good for you, right? And then we'll walk that all the way over to the left side, let that leg swing over, create the length in the space, reach it out, nice. Head drops a little bit more. We're breathing, we're smiling, because you can smile during yoga, right? You can laugh during yoga. Marilee and I had a hysterical laughing fit prior to class getting started. So now we're back center, right here we're back center, and then we're gonna bring that left leg behind the right and let that foot drop. So distribute your weight to where you feel nice and even. You're gonna roll up real slow. And then we're gonna reach the arms up to the sky. And we're gonna interlace the fingers with your pointer fingers high here. If it feels good, stretch your arms back. So get that mobility through the shoulders if that feels good. Pull up through your quads, breathe in. As you exhale, we're going right. All the way over. Extension, energy through the fingertips. Create that length through the left side. Come back center. Full breath in, get real tall as you exhale. Let's get long to the left. Reach into the left. So root down through the feet, through the heels, through the balls of the feet. Grip the toes a little bit. Come back center. Very nice. Let the arms drop down. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together. Find a nice deep breath in as you exhale. We're going together for 4, 3, vertebrae by vertebrae, 2. Let the top of your head drop into the floor. Reach your arms out. Say a slow no. Head's turning side to side. And then let your arms come down and interlace your fingers behind that left calf. Lift yourself and look out to the front of your mat. Get long through your back, breathe in. As you exhale, we're gonna bend those elbows. I want you to use those biceps to pull and feel. Straighten the legs a little more, push back through the seat a little more. Every exhale, we're folding deeper. So we're hugging stronger with that upper body strength. We're keeping the legs as straight as you can. 2 hands find the floor. Left leg is gonna lift. Nice, we're gonna walk into a long dog. Left foot lunges. We're gonna slide that right foot back. So go ahead and work it back. Widen your stance, find a nice lunge, a lunge that feels good, right? So remember, keep in mind that you really wanna make sure that your stance is not, you're not feeling unstable. So if you're on that tightrope, you will feel unstable. Walk the upper body to the right. We're gonna press down through the floor, press through the palms, find energy through that back heel. And then we're gonna come back center, square it, arms reach out wide, come on up. We're in that crescent, load up that back leg, bend that right knee. So we're loaded in the back. Breathe in as you exhale. Drop the hands down, walk the torso. We're going right. Don't turn that back foot again. So a little more to the right if you can, right? So I want you to work through the poses. Bring that energy, bring a little more each time. Come on back center, arms reach out wide. So find the vibrance and vitality, bend that back knee, load up that back leg. We're reaching through the fingertips, big breath in, we're squeezing that right glute. As you exhale, drop it. Let's walk it to the right side. We're going as far as it feels good. Right wrist under the shoulder, left arm's gonna reach, we're gonna open. Breathe it. Keep dropping down through that left seat. Chin is where the neck feels good. Reach that arm overhead. Maybe you're looking down. for 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna walk back center. And we're gonna heel toe that left foot. Let's come inside of that foot. So we're gonna heel toe it. Before we straighten that leg, I don't know if we did that one first or second, but we're gonna get them both in. So here we are. 2 hands are inside of your left foot. I want you to come onto the outer edge of that foot here and just bring your torso a little bit right. And then the left hand is gonna come inside of that knee. And we're gonna open through that left adductor. We're gonna peel back through that left shoulder. And what I like to do is bend and straighten and move it around. So you can just keep it still. You can drop that back knee. What feels good? We're just moving, feeling, breathing, own it. Fantastic. Drop that foot, heel toe it back so that you're back in line with your lunge. One hand on either side of your foot. Right knee is gonna come easy to your mat. Left leg, we're gonna straighten it. Take your right hand onto your right hip, square that guy forward. We're flexing the toes. Mare's on our blocks. We're gonna find a little reach out, extension and length, chin towards the toes, right palm, if it's available. Catch the ball of that foot and flex the toes back a little more. If not, grab that ankle. Let's breathe right here. Are you present? Are you inside of your feels right now? Are you inside of your feels? Are you inside of where your body's feeling it? Maybe you feel it in that left hamstring. Maybe you feel it in other places. If you feel it in your right knee, get a little towel and put a knee under or get an extra thick mat. I always go for Manduka. I'm not sponsored by Manduka. I think they're the best mat. You'll have it for a long time. It's incredible. We're gonna lift that back knee and step back into your high plank. If you're not working with a high quality mat, you might feel it more in the knees, so just keep that in mind. Here we are in high plank position. If you can believe it, this is gonna be our very first chaturanga. Let's lower down into your chaturanga. So as we lower down, elbows stacked on top of the wrist, shoulders in line with the elbows. We're tucking up through the pelvis. If you're modifying, you're on the knees. Up dog, we'll lift the thighs. If you need to, drop the knees in the floor, bring the shoulder blades together. Downward facing dog, 1 foot at a time. Be kind to your toes. The seat is high, the head drops low. Let's take some full inhales and exhales here, Mare. Yeah, let's just breathe and feel good. We're gonna bend the knees and step or jump your feet up lightly to the front of your mat. Find a lift halfway. We're gonna breathe in. As you exhale, forward fold, dive in tight. As you inhale, touch the sidewalls. We got straight legs. Come on up, nice and high. Exhale, forward fold, come on down, strong and low. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in, step or jump back to your high plank. We're gonna stay right here. We're in a high plank position. Right wrist is under the shoulder. Stagger your top foot in front of your bottom. So just stagger the feet for a moment. Nice. Now, once you feel like you can turn on that upper back, that lat, and you're driving that right hip away, if you feel stronger, stack your feet. Left foot on top of the right. Flex the toes. Nice. We're reaching that left arm up to the sky. So if at any time you feel like you need a break, stagger your feet again. It's gonna be a 4 count. We're gonna lift that top leg straight up for 4, 3, if there's a rope on your ankle, 2, we're pulling you up right here. Now it's gonna be a 4 count to drive your knee into your chest for 4, 3, 2. Now take your left hand and hug your knee. Pull it up. Pull it up into your chest. For 4, keep pulling it. For 3, I want you to look forward where your foot's gonna land. Into a crescent lunge we go. Step the left foot forward. We're on the ball of that back foot. Arms touch the side walls and then the ceiling. We're in crescent lunge. Very nice, beautiful. So let's bring that right knee real close to the floor. Like if you had a nickel and that's all you could slide was a nickel under that right knee. We're gonna load up that back leg, squeeze that quad. Beautiful. Now let's find some little lunges. We're down and up right here, little lunges. So hands can be separated. You can interlace them and flip the palms to the sky. You can lock the thumbs. You choose if you want to take a little break, you can bring your hands on your hips as well, and that's a little bit less energy that you're expending, so you decide. If you need a bigger break, drop your right knee and just stay here with us. We're breathing here for only 30 seconds. We're about 20 seconds in, loading up that back leg, so really shift the weight back. Let it do the work. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a moment right here. Slide your hands on your hips. Find a deep breath in. As you exhale, pour the hips forward like a bucket. Push off the back foot. Lower body's going to be in Warrior 3. Keep your hands on your hips. Lower body is in Warrior 3. We're going to square that hip down. We're going to flex those right toes. We're gonna push back through that right heel. We're squeezing through that right glute. Merrily, it looks strong. Bring your arms straight out in front of you, palms face each other, thumbs to the sky. We're in Warrior 3, and guess what? The limbs gotta work. Lift them up, the limbs. So not the chest. Yeah, lift your arm. Both of your arms are lifting. That right leg is lifting, and you're pushing back through your left seat. So we're getting some serious stretch in that left hamstring, and we're doing the work. We're inside the abdominals. Those guys are turned on, and we're breathing for 5. It looks amazing for 4, 3. Now, all I want you to do is slide your right hand to your right hip, find your block with your left hand. So everybody has better form and alignment on a block and half moon. So we're gonna peel that right hip back. We're gonna lift that right leg high. So get it so that you're light on your block. So the block is not for you to lay your body weight down in. It's there for you just as a little bit of guidance to line up your torso, your shoulders and your hips. So we're light on the block. We have energy through that right leg. We're gonna reach that right arm up to the sky. And now here's something really fun to do. Challenge your balance, look up. Go ahead and look up to the sky. Challenge your balance. Yeah, keep lifting that back leg. Beautiful for 5, that looks amazing. 4, it's a slow transition. I like to do hands on the hips, lower bodies in Warrior 3. Turn that hip down, take your time, no rush. 2 hands on the hips, that's a balance challenge. Plus it's a nice way to reset. Lower body, we're flexing the toes, arms reach out to the front wall. We're back in Warrior 3, beautiful. There's energy, electricity. The essence of the pose is here, lifting through the limbs. Here we are. Get long. So someone has your right ankle. They're pulling you to the back wall. I'm going to grab your wrist. I'm going to pull you to the front. Create the length and the space. Slow and easy. Left hand finds your hip. Right hand brings the block under your right shoulder where you need it. We're light on it. We're still lifting that back leg. We're going to turn the torso and reach your left arm up to the sky. We're twisting that half moon. That's fantastic. Right here, we're trying to bring that left rib cage on top of the right. It may never go there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares where your body's going but you, right? How does it feel? That's what we care about. Not about how pretty does it look. Oh my gosh, am I doing it exactly right? No. How does it feel, right? Your torso twist. What feels good for you? We're light on that block on the right. Now, we're going to bend that back knee, guide the heel in, and we're going to catch it. Left hand to your right foot, or maybe you're just gonna grab your pant leg. Maybe you're just gonna be able to grab your ankle. Grab where you can. Keep the right fingertips on the block. All I want you to do is lift that back leg if it's available a little higher, kick a little stronger. We're breathing into that pec now. Right here, where's your chin? Does it feel good? Where's your neck? Does it feel good? Feel the kick and the pull. Right here, you can stay in this one, in the bound. If you wanna go a little bit harder, a little stronger, a little bit more, we're gonna go into a twisted dancers. Bring the right middle finger halfway up the wall in front of you. Now kick that foot back. Yeah, strive for it. 5, that's it. And if you fall out, you're just coming right back in. There's energy here. 4, keep the kick on. 3, we're still reaching through it. For 2, slow and easy chair pose. Let the feet meet, drop the squat, chair pose. Come on down, chair pose. And remember, don't worry about your block. You can always get that. When you fold forward, it'll be there for you to just push it out of your way, so don't worry about it. Feet come together merrily. Insides of the feet touch each other. Kneecaps are not coming forward of your toes. Can you see your knees right now? Are you squeezing your thighs? Let's reach the arms out to the side wall. Pull the shoulder blades together. Nice. So we're out in the letter T. And then we're going to drive your right thigh up into your chest. So we're dropping down through the squat. We're bringing the shoulder blades together. We're driving that right thigh up into your chest. We're going to straighten your right leg. Go ahead and straighten it out. It's a straight leg lift. Let's take it up. For 8, yeah, get in that quad. 7, take it high. 6, sit it low on the left. 5, 4, work it. 3, 2, hold it up on 1. Let the feet meet. Bring the hands to the heart center. We're breathing in. As you exhale, edge of the right elbow works the outside edge of your left knee. Now, the right kneecap pops in front of the left, because that's what it does. Pull it back and even it out. So do not think that the pose is over once you get the edge of that elbow out and you're just hanging forward. You gotta lift that torso, yeah, and use it to keep turning. Again, left rib cage on top of the right is what we're going for. We're squeezing the quads. Can you drop your butt down just a little bit lower? Now what I want you to do is bring your right fingertips in front of your big toes, not outside of your left foot right now, just on the fingertips. And if that's too much, bring it onto your block. Left arm finds the sky, yes. We're gonna stay open right here, and we're gonna slowly, we're gonna bring that right foot back behind you, keep that left knee bent, yes. And we're gonna find a hamstring curl, shining the bottom of your foot to the sky. Left seat drops low, so we're gonna stay in that seated squat. Now it's a glute press. Let's push the roof up right here for 8, 7, 6, go Mare, 5, push it, 4, strong, 3, 2, stay here on this one. Reach back and catch your foot. Slow and easy. Straighten that left leg. Twisted dancers, we're coming back up. Take your time. Take your time. No race to get there. Mare is a boss. 5, she's bossing it. 4, that's a hard pose. That's a hard transition. 3, phenomenal. 2, we're in chair pose. Drop the seat. Drop the seat down low. Forward fold, we're diving in. Halfway lift, let's breathe in here. Step or jump back to your high plank. Left wrist is under the shoulder, right foot staggers. We're in a staggered side angle. We're gonna turn that lat on. Now, if you feel stronger, if you stacked on one side, you wanna try and stack it on the other. So Marilee's got it where she's stacked, and she's lifting that hip away from the floor, right? So there's a lot of work that's going on in here. If you need a break, drop your left knee to the floor at any time. It's a 4 count, we're taking the top leg up. 4, 3, 2, hold it high. It's a 4 count to tuck that knee into your chest. 4, 3, 2, beautiful. Hold it in, keep holding it in, keep lifting. Grab it, hold on to it, pull it up, stay here. Lift that hip, because I want you to stay in the work for a little bit. Then when you're ready, lunge it forward. Yes, arms reach out to the sidewall. We're in a crescent lunge. Set yourself up strong. Hands can be wherever you like them, overhead, on the hips, interlaced, whatever feels good. We're gonna shift body weight back into that back leg. That left knee's gonna come almost, there's just a sliver that's underneath her knee. She's stacking through that left, the body weight stacking back into that left. She's stacked in a 90 on the right. Let's find those lunges, Mare. 30 seconds, full, all you. Bring your A game. So get into the mind space of strong right now. Get into the mind space of wringing it out, right? Bringing it. 15 seconds to go. Remember, there's no bouncing. It's a lift and a lower. So stay controlled in it. Her hips are like headlights to the front wall. We're breathing right here. 6, 5, 4, 3. Take a pause low. So here's where it feels like, oh my gosh, this is getting crazy. Slide your hands on your hips right here. And then slow and easy, we're gonna pop off that back foot, lean forward, back leg lifts. Stay here with the hands on the hips, please. Lower body's in your best warrior 3. So the reason why I don't want you to move the arms yet is A, it's a balance challenge. B, I want you to make sure your hips are square. C, I want you to make sure your left glute's squeezing, your left quad's on, the toes are flexed in. Get it all tight. Get the program nice and strong. Now reach the arms out to the front wall, warrior 3. Now the limbs are on. Now we're doing the work. Let's allow ourselves to bring the heat. Keep turning that left hip down, but the arms are lifting and the back leg is lifting too. For 5, keep the reach on. 4, we're getting serious in warrior 3. For 3, stay here, pause. Slowly slide your left hand to your left hip. Let your right hand find your block. We're gonna peel that left hip open, stack it. Left hip on top of the right as best you can. With your left hand still on your hip, I want you to think about now lifting that leg. Get that leg up, yeah, work it up. Lift it up, own it, flexing the toes. We're light on that block, so we're not laying down on it, no body weight. We're putting that in the core, right? We're letting the obliques handle that. Handle your business right here. Bring your left arm up to the sky. What is gonna be a good time? Look up, challenge the balance. Yeah, get yourself shaky. Look up, Mare. Get yourself shaky, woman. She's looking up. We're doing it for 5. We're breathing it. And again, have a little fun with it, right? If you fall over, who cares? Weeble wobbles wobble, but they don't fall down. I grew up with weeble wobbles. We're lifting that back leg. We're reaching that left arm. 5, yeah, 4. Hands are on the hips. Let's square it back to lower body warrior 3. 2 hands on the hips. Take your time. Readjust your toes. Lift that back leg. Gorgeous. Nice. Right hand's gonna stay on the hip. Left guy's gonna find that block. Bring it where you need it, but we're not laying down on it, right? It's just a little prop. It's just a little guide. Now, roll open. We're getting in the feels, right? We're feeling that right rib cage. So on the inhales, touch the ceiling. On the exhales, roll it open. Where's your back leg? Did it get lazy? Did it fall halfway down? Sometimes it does, so you got to pick that guy back up. 5, 4. Remember, inhales, we're reaching up. Exhales, we're rolling open. Beautiful. 3. All we're going to do is bend the knee, try to catch on somewhere. Take your time. Again, take that moment to get bound, right? Catch it. Maybe you'll throw a little a little hand towel back there and work it that way. So if you're short here, if you're tight here, you can throw a yoga strap back there, wrap it around the ball of the foot. Gorgeous. Now you can stay here in the bound. Marilee's kicking, I could see it. She striated through here, pulling through that pec. Open it up. Breathe it. Lift that leg up. Yeah. Get in that quad. Lift it up a little bit. 5. Work it up a little bit. Kick it back a little stronger. 4. Now, let your obliques come into play. We're going to twist up the dancers. Left middle finger's coming halfway up the wall. We're pushing back through that right glute. Can you straighten your right leg a little more? Let that hamstring come into it. 8, 7. She's owning it. 6, 5. It's a strong kick. 4, 3, 2. It's an easy release into chair pose. Drop the squat. Feet come together. Ah, beautiful. Bring the arms out to the side, wide. Drive the left thigh up into your chest. Keep dropping that right seat. Yeah, and that glute should be on fire, so you can, guess what? Stand up and shake it all out. You know, kind of shake that lactic acid out. Give it a moment, right? A feel good, because we're not really here to beat ourselves up. We're here to get stronger, but to feel good along the way too, right? So now we're dipped down. We're going to drive that left thigh up. We're going to drop into the right seat, straighten that left leg, and it's a straight leg lift. Here we go for 8, 7. Awesome, Marilee. 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep dropping that squat. 2. Excellent. Feet meet together. Hands come to the heart center. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, edge of the left elbow. Let's work it. Yeah. Outer edge of that knee. Kneecaps come in line. Squeeze the thighs together. Can you drop your seat down? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. Why not? Smoke the buns right into the floor, but don't let your upper body collapse, right? So again, just like when we were in that half moon, inhale, we lift the torso. Exhale, we turn it and drop the squat. Left fingertips come out in front of the big toes or on your block. Right arm finds the sky. Stay in that low seat. Then we're going to bring that bottom of your foot. Go ahead and sweep it back on the left. Nice, right here. So we got the bottom of the foot where we can push the roof up. Go, Mare. 8, yeah. 7, push through it. 6, you got it, babe. 5, 4, where's your right glute? Drop it. 3, 2, hold it up on this one in slow-mo. Reach it back. Reach, reach, reach. Straighten that right leg in slow motion. Oh, bossing it. Yes. Twisted dancers. 5, straighten here because you can. 4, because it's warm. 3, kick it back, Mare. 2, chair pose drops the seat. Forward fold, we're diving in. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice. Shrug and roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to take a, let's take your block, Marilee, in the center, and we're going to take a yoga strap. So hopefully you have a little yoga strap. Hit pause. That's the beauty of doing online classes, is that you can hit pause a million times. Maybe you took 50 breaks by now. What do we know? And you're all the better for it, so good for you. So hopefully you have a yoga strap at home. If you don't, you can get one again, just like the blocks. So give yourself the gift of a strap. Why wouldn't you? We're going to step up with your right foot in the middle of your block right now. Right foot is in the middle of the block. And again, if you have foam blocks, don't do it on the foam because they flip over. Not a good time. Now we're going to bring that strap back behind you, and we're going to cradle the top of your left foot. So it's like it's in a little hammock, the top of the foot. Then just reach your arms up into a V. So go ahead and stretch them straight up. Yeah, let's stay right here. So top of the foot is in that strap. We're squaring the hips. Arms are up in a V. And all we're gonna do, all I want you to do right now, without leaning forward, is bring your left leg behind your right. So that you can see both of your legs. Yes. Both of your legs from one side. Very nice. And we're just going to breathe into that left quad. And we're pulling. So I want you to choke up enough on your strap where these guys feel taut. So they feel like, you know, you come by and there's not a lot of slack in them at all. Let's find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, We're gonna come into dancer's pose. We're gonna hinge at the hips. We're gonna lift that back leg. And Marilee is gonna pull, and you guys at home are gonna pull as strong as you can. Pull that strap forward. And then with your foot, you're gonna kick back as strong as you can. Now I want you to bring your toes up towards the sky. We're hinging through the hips, right? And we're pulling and we're breathing. So let's work this guy out. It's super active, right? Active resistance, bringing the best here. We're kicking back and we're pulling. We're lifting the toes up. That right leg's gonna straighten a little bit. We're pushing back through that right hamstring. We're in it to win it for 8, 7, 6, 5. Looks amazing. 4, 3, for 2, come up easy, step off slow. So step off, just drop your yoga strap, just drop it to the floor. And then take that right foot that you were standing on, cross it onto the lower part of your left, and we're just gonna find a little figure 4 stretch. Bring your right hand inside of that knee. So like when we started, we're stiff arming away, right? So we're bringing that, we're pushing that shoulder away. We're gonna drop down deep into that hip, and then we'll reach the arms out to the front wall. And just enjoy the figure 4. Drop the seat, breathe it. So if you wanna have a little fun here, close your eyes. And then you could play around with it. Maybe close one eye and then close the other. Now can you drop your squat down? 5, 4. Crack the eyes open if you need to. Sorry. 3, 2, hands are on the hips. Well, I haven't been working, so I'm pretty fresh. Sweep that right leg around. Now, here's a modified lower body eagle. You could have your toes in the floor, or if it wraps around, lower body eagle. Let's find that right here. Stack the shoulders on the hips, even the hips out. So one guy gets higher than the other, even those guys out. Then the left arm's gonna reach out, and the right arm's gonna come under, and we'll interlace and lift the elbows up. And we're gonna drop the squat down low. Very nice. Mary, your legs gotta be burning because mine are already burning. I'm gonna get out because I can. And you guys can too. So we're in that eagle for 5, 4, 3. All I want you to do is bring your lower body into chair. Lower body's in chair pose, arms stay in eagle. That's gorgeous, very nice. Arms are in eagle pose. Now, keeping the arms in eagle, stand tall, straighten both legs. We're gonna go back onto the block with your right foot. So step up, keep your arms in eagle, right foot is in the center. Drive your left thigh up into your chest. Flex your toes, lift your elbows up. Arms are gonna stay in eagle. Find a breath in. As you exhale, lower body's gonna find warrior 3. Push that heel back. Take a slow fold. Arms are in eagle. Yes. Lower body's in warrior 3. Let's make a tiny change. Point your toes back. And that's setting us up for airplane. Spread the wings out. Middle fingers come to the back corners of the wall. Little up dog, gorgeous here. Let's fly, Mare, right here, like a 747. Lift the arms up, lift the back leg. So airplane is all about energy in the limbs again. Just like warrior 3, we're here for 8, 7. Let's reach it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's step it down. Step it off, shake it out just a little bit. Nice. You know where we're gonna go? Up the mountains. Let's go into mountain pose and relax through the nervous system. So heels are under the hips, arms are alongside of the body, hands are open, right? Palms are open. And we're gonna separate your fingers as if there's electricity flowing through your fingertips right now. Let your shoulders drop down, pull your shoulder blades together. Close your eyes, close your mouth. Find some full inhales and exhales. We're lifting up through the thighs. Mountain pose is that beautiful space where you can just relax in the nervous system. There's still energy flowing, right? So we still have energy through the fingertips, energy through the heels, energy through the feet, through the thighs. We are energy. We're just one big ball body full of energy, right? And electricity. So allow it to just flow through. Beautiful. Let's fold forward. So forward fold, keep the feet as wide as your hips. Slide your hands under your feet, walk your toes up to your wrists. So you're gonna cover as much hand as you can. Straighten your legs and look out in front of you. Lengthen, yeah, lift your chest up. Breathe in as you exhale. Now pull, yes. Pull, straighten those legs, Mare, pull. Use those shoulders, use your arms to pull your head through your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2. Release the hands out. Take the whole upper body to the left side. Grab onto that left calf. Hug in, fold it. Come, let your face come to the outside of that left knee. Sway it all the way to the right. Grab on, fold it in, pull a little bit. Gorgeous. Come back center, roll up slow. 4, 3, 2. And we're ready to set ourselves on the other side. So grab your strap. We're gonna come up center of your block with your left foot. If you feel scared on the block, guys, definitely don't use it. Of course not. But it's just an added challenge for balance. So it's just a nice fun thing. If you got your balance on and you're on the mat and you're like, I could do this in my sleep, then just throw something in it like that and, you know, step your game up. So we're gonna cradle the top of the foot. We're gonna choke up on the strap. So the arms are in a V. Stay here. And all we're gonna do is bring your right leg behind your left without even folding forward. Right leg behind the left, yeah. That's really nice. So she's got some energy, she's kicking back. Beautiful. Now, take a full breath in and reach those arms up, Mare. Lengthen those arms up as you breathe in. Keep kicking back. On the exhale, find the hinge. She's gonna fold it here, hinging at the hips. Fantastic, Marilee, beautiful. So now she's pulling forward, find the pull. She's lifting that back leg. Toes are going to the sky. She's got the kick on. I could see it. This guy's tight, right? We're breathing it for 10. She's inside the work. 9. It looks amazing. 8. Keep that kick strong. 7. Go, Mare. 6. 5. 4. I'm just kind of hanging out here. 3. She's sweating and doing the work. 2, slow and easy, come on up. Release that strap, step it off. Nice job, shake it out a little bit. Let's go into a figure 4, other side. Catch that foot, cross it over. We're gonna push it away. Stiff arm it away. Upper back gets tall, arms reach out in front of us. We're gonna drop down through the seat. Let's stay here. And then you can play around with closing the eyes. So maybe 1 or 2, keep dropping the squat. Eyes are closed, mine are closed. Are your eyes closed, Marilee?
Yep.
Nice. 5. I feel myself going over. 4. You can crack them open to save it. 3, 2. Hands are on the hips. Let that left guy come up over the right. Maybe connect it back behind you or bring the ball of the foot to the side. So if that's too much to bring it back behind your calf, you could be right here and let your toes drop to the floor. And then we're gonna drop down, smoke the seat low. Drop it down, yes. Right arm reaches, left arm under. So listen up. If you're doing that upper body eagle and it's too much for you to interlace it, come forearm to forearm. So you can come right here. Mare's in it. She's lifting and squatting. So now, eagle pose, we're doing the work. On the exhales, we sit. On the inhales, we keep the seat and we lift the arms up. Phenomenal. 5, 4, 3. Just the lower body. Stand tall. Come on up. Stand tall.
I thought it was chair pose first.
Yeah, chair pose, yeah. Lower body chair pose. See that? She never really cheats herself out of the work. I was like gonna give her a break and my memory failed and she could have just taken advantage of it and she didn't. Let's stand tall. Nicely done. Okay. Keep those elbows high. So upper body staying in eagle. Left foot's gonna come center of your block. So make sure you're right in the middle so those blocks aren't flipping, right? Nice. Now drive your right thigh up into your chest. Find a full breath in. As you exhale, lower body is gonna find warrior 3. We're gonna fold it, We're gonna flex the toes, arms are in eagle. Guess what? Those elbows are trying to get away from her chest. So don't let them collapse in, right? Extend them out. Use the shoulder strength. Turn that right hip down. Now, all we're gonna do is extend the top of the foot back. Lower body now is an airplane. We're turning that right hip down. Let's fly mare. Spread the wings out. Nice catch. Little up dog here through the front of the shoulders. Let's put the airplane on, right? Lift the limbs up. 5, straighten the left leg. Grip the big toe. 4, let your arms get higher. 3, let your back leg lift a little more. For 2, keep working it. Let's own it here. Own it. Ah, nice job. Step on down. Beautiful, nicely done. Shake it out. So we're gonna come right into down dog. So clear off your space. We're in a long dog, downward facing dog. Let's create a little length right here. The seat is high, the head drops low. So we went into relaxing our nervous system in mountain pose after the first side. This side, we're relaxing our nervous system in down dog. If it feels good for you, we're gonna add torso twist. Right hand outside of your left knee or ankle, find a pull, turn the torso. Left guy comes outside of the right, find a pull and twist it. Beautiful. Right guy comes outside of the left, grab on and twist it. Left guy outside of the right, catch on and pull it. Very nice, mare. Open up into your dog. Right leg comes to the sky. Sweep your right knee up to your right wrist. Work your right ankle up to your left wrist. Let your left knee slide back. We're gonna sit up tall here. Nice. So we're just pushing ourselves away from the floor. Bring your torso a little bit to the right, just slightly to the right, and then let yourself fold down and turn that left hip forward. So you can cross your arms and drop your head into your forearms if you like. You can reach your arms out long if you like. You can thread your left arm under your right if you like that. You can thread your right arm under your left if that feels better. You can go into a quad stretch, reach back and catch your foot. There's a million things that you can do if you like it better than just chilling out. It's up to you. So you decide, and one day maybe you like to do one thing, and another day you're like, oh, well, my hip doesn't love that today, so I'm gonna try something else. We're gonna come into dog, so we won't stay here too long for this one tonight. Downward facing dog, left leg's gonna get high. Sweep the left knee up, work the left ankle, slide the right knee back, sit up real tall. So lengthen through the spine, bring the torso slightly left, and take the fold. Let's lower it down. Beautiful. Relax through the face. Relax right now through your teeth if they're clenched together. Let go through your jaw. Where's your head space, right? So did you leave us or are you still on your mat? Stay on your mat. Stay in that warm space. Stay inside your body. And then we're gonna stay on that left seat and we'll bring that right leg around. And we're gonna lie all the way back into the floor. And just find a feel-good stretch. Arms reach overhead, toes reach out, we're nice and long. Reach it, breathe it, own it here. Then we're gonna catch that right knee and we're gonna hug yourself up. Hug in and lift your left leg. We're gonna alternate knee hugs right here. Let's tuck it. Find the exhale on the lift. Big exhale, nice. Pull it. So if you can reach down and catch your feet, grab your feet. Pull it on that one, yeah, drive it in. Now bring your heels to the sky, reach for the toes, straight up, nice. Reach, reach. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep both heels up to the sky. Bring your hands behind your head. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor. So we're gonna stay lifted here. Extend your right leg out about a foot from the floor. And let's pulse it on the high end. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up high. Switch the legs. Here we go. Pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come into bridge or wheel. Bridge or wheel, we're dropping the feet, hip width distance. We'll lift up through the hips. So if you like bridge, you might want to interlace your fingers under your back, whittle your shoulder blades together. Keep driving the pelvis up high, squeeze the glutes. If you like a full wheel, please do not use the top of your head to get into that pose. You're going to bring the hands alongside of the ears. You're going to use the arm strength to lift only if it feels good for your back. You'll push yourself away from the floor. Remember, guys, to keep in mind, come down as soon as you need to. If you're up there and it feels good, certainly go for single leg extension. You can bring one leg up to the sky. You can always do that in bridge, one leg at a time. Can come up, we're lifting. And you can hold it up there too. While you're lifting, hold the leg up, circle through the ankle, you know, and then that just makes the other leg do some extra work as well. And then switch sides, circle through. Nice. Beautiful. We're gonna lower it all the way down and we're just gonna flip over onto your belly. So we'll just turn it over and we're gonna find a slow bow. So let's bend the knees, reach back, catch the top of the feet. And then we're gonna lift the thighs up, squeeze the glutes, lift the chest up, kick the feet back, let the toes get high for 5. Yeah, keep kicking on it. For 4, keep breathing into the shoulders. For 3, keep working it up. For 2, and then relax it down. Child's pose, take a seat back. Let your head relax. And then we'll find downward facing dog. And then bend your knees and float your feet 2 or 3 your hands. Take a seat into the floor. We're gonna lie back into your mat. Very nice. And then hug your right knee up into your chest. And then go ahead and bring your right leg up to the sky. And just pull back on that straight leg. Pull it. And then catch your right hand to your right big toe, if you can. If not, hang on to your leg. Let your left arm drop out to the left side. Find a breath in. As you exhale, bring your right leg over to the right. Again, just as far as it feels good. And we're just gonna relax where you can let go, right? So the right arm's gonna stay strong because it's working that leg. And we're on the exhales, we're still pulling it a little bit if that's available. And then we'll hug that knee into the chest and we'll guide it over. Left hand guides your right knee to the left. Let your right ear drop to the right. We're inside that low back. Come back center, hug both knees in. Find a little massage. Rock yourself side to side, massage your back into the floor. Let your right leg drop down, straighten your left leg up, pull it back, give yourself a nice hug on it. It's nice and warm. And then that left hand is gonna catch either the first 2 fingers around your big toe, maybe you're grabbing your ankle. Right palm drops to the floor, breathe in as you exhale. Turn it over. And let's just breathe it here. On the exhales, we're pulling it up. Hug that knee into the chest. Find a deep breath in as you exhale. That right hand's gonna guide it over. Left arm drops, left ear drops. And then come center, grab your knees, and we're gonna find rock and roll. So we're gonna tap the heels and lift the chest up. We're massaging the whole back into the floor. We're gonna take a few here for 4, nice. 3, 2, we're gonna stay seated. Mary, I'm gonna share your mat with you if you don't mind. So scoot yourself down there. And we're gonna cross your feet into half or full lotus. So go ahead and take one foot up. If it feels good, if it doesn't feel good, certainly you can cross your legs however you like. And we're gonna root the seat into the floor. And we're gonna lengthen up through the spine. And then we're gonna reach the arms up to the sky. Let's find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your left hand behind your low back. And then reach your right arm to your left thigh. And then slowly look over your left shoulder. Now while you're here on the inhales, lift your spine up. You can use that left arm to lengthen your back a little more. On the exhales, pull with your right arm strength. On a breath in, come back center. Inhale high. On the exhale, we're gonna reach out, extend out, let your fingertips find the floor. Reach it here. So use your fingertips as your leverage. Let your head drop. As you exhale, you're gonna let your chest fall closer to the floor. Take your upper body to the left. Use the leverage through your fingertips. And then come back center slow. One vertebrae at a time. Bring yourself up to seated. Reverse your cross. So if it's available, bring that other foot on top. Reach the arms up to the sky. Big breath in. As you exhale, take that turn. So we're gonna slowly turn the torso. Bring your right hand behind your low back. Left arm's gonna stay high. Fill the lungs up, breathe in. As you exhale, bring that left hand outside of your right thigh. And let's work the pose here. Inhales, we lengthen. And the exhales, we twist. And then we're gonna come back center, reach up real tall. Breathe in. As you exhale, extend it out, fold it forward. Let your head relax. Take your upper body over to the right side. And then we're gonna come back center slow. Bring yourself up to seated. If your legs feel good where they are, you can keep them here. You can also reverse that stretch again, or you can come into a full lotus where both of the feet will come on top of each other. Sometimes it works and feels good, and sometimes it doesn't. Yes, if you could thread one foot through, I'm really tight these days. So it's not always, and if it doesn't feel good, how's it going, Mare?
Really can't do that one.
Okay, well, anyway, if it feels good, get your feet in that position. If not, it's great to be wherever you do feel good for yourself. And then we're gonna bring your hands to your heart center. Let your palms press. Let your chin drop a little bit and lengthen through your spine. And we're gonna let your breath be your own. So if that feels better for you to breathe out of your mouth, then certainly you can go ahead and do that. And we're gonna take this opportunity right now to think of 3 things that you like about yourself. So 3 things that you feel good about and how you show up. Honor those 3 things. Think about them, engage with them. And sometimes we have a tendency when we're giving ourselves a little pat on the back to go into, but I don't like this. Stay in the 3 things that you like about yourself. And if it's available, with your eyes closed, unravel your legs and lie back on your mat. So we're gonna come into that full Savasana where we let go. Let your arms fall out to the side, let your legs straighten. You can bring your right leg a little bit to the right and your left leg a little bit to the left. Let your shoulder blades drop into the floor. You can turn your head a little bit side to side and then let it kind of fall into where it feels the heaviest. Let it rock its way in to that space. Relax through your pelvis. Find a big breath in, let your chest rise high. Big exhale, let it go. And as you let it go, I want you to send someone a well wish, a kind thought. So think of one person that you want to offer up a kind thought to. And sometimes it may be someone that hasn't really been on your favorite list of people more recently. Sometimes that feels really nice to offer them up some good, strong, beautiful energy that's coming straight from your heart. And here's a moment right now to check in. Did you stay in the intention that you set for yourself before class? It's really nice to check in and see if you were able to do that, or were you so busy trying to figure out what you were doing that you kind of lost it, and that's okay? Or did you get a little bit into your own head, into your own ego, and did that kind of mess up your original intention of what you had planned? So think about that for a moment. Because ego can mess up so many things. It's really such a strong thing that happens with us. And now go ahead and breathe in real slow. Real slow, a full breath in. And I want you to release the air out as slow as you can, and every little ounce of air is going to come out. And as you're exhaling, I want you to give yourself a compliment. I appreciate you spending a little time here on your mat with me and with Marilee. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.